This video is sponsored by Squarespace. All right, guys, so I kind of have a little bit of an obsession with drones right here, but I just put out a video yesterday on the Mavic, actually not the Mavic anymore, the Air 2S from DJI, and I had a lot of questions in that video of how it compared to basically all of other drones from DJI, especially a lot of confusion on both which is the best drone for beginners and which is the best drone for the more advanced photo video enthusiasts right there. So I really wanted to make this kind of comparing all of DJI's drones and telling you the difference between features, and as you move up, I guess kind of like a buyer's guide for all of these drones right here. So maybe one drone is not going to be enough for you depending on what you use these for. So we'll have some fun with this one. I am so stoked about some of the videos that are coming out. I just finished editing one of my favorites to put out in a while. Stay tuned, guys. If you haven't subscribed, liked, do that kind of stuff, and then join us for some cool stuff. But yeah, let's get into this and all of the awesome things that DJI is doing with these. So let's start off with the Mini 2, and this is a drone that has grown on me so much over the last year, and most of that is due to some firmware updates that DJI has done that have really improved this drone a whole lot. One of the things that I love about it the most is that it's the cheapest drone out here. However, don't kind of associate that with the best beginner drone. It might not be. It's actually missing a few features that are really awesome for beginners, so just kind of keep that in mind. Now, the signature achievement here is going to be that it is under 250 grams, which in most countries is the limit that you would need to be able to operate and fly a drone without any kind of a license or anything like that. Now, here in the US, it's not as big of a deal. All you have to do is register a drone and you can fly something larger like these without an issue. So it's not that big of a deal. But if you are in a country that requires to be under 250 grams like Canada in order to fly without a license, this might be the drone to get. Now, if you want this for more than just a fun toy, this drone has actually grown a whole lot. It has manual control over photo and video thanks to a firmware update again. But if you're learning how to take images from drones, you can actually use that to your advantage. It's a great drone to learn on from that perspective. It also shoots 4K video now thanks to a firmware update, so not bad at all. Also, this size is crazy awesome if you want to throw this in a bag or get it anywhere. This is pretty much fits in your pocket. And the other advantage too is that it doesn't attract a lot of attention. So if you want to be able to fly in places where people are kind of weary if you took something like this out, this is going to be the drone to get as well. Of course, anytime you shrink the drone, you got to shrink the camera as well. So it has a smaller sensor than most of these other drones, and that's going to mean that the image quality just isn't going to be as good. I would really say that it compares to a lot of smartphones out there, and even some of the most current high-end smartphones will actually be a little bit better in quality than this. So it's not bad. It's actually, I've seen some pretty good stuff come from this drone. I've shot some stuff myself that I'm pretty happy with. But if image quality is your concern, there are going to be some other options on the market like these. And then also just keep in mind it doesn't have a lot of pro-end like photo and video features like picture profiles and stuff like that. Now, if you're the beginner, you might think that this is the cheapest option and going to be the best for you, but it is missing a couple things that you might really want. One of them is obstacle avoidance. So a lot of these drones have sensors all over them that allow it to detect objects and get away from them so you don't hit them. I have crashed drones before. I have just about hit objects before. The obstacle avoidance has saved me quite a few times from hitting trees and things like that. So this does not have it, which means you are much more likely to crash this drone than any of the other ones on the market right here. And then also one of the other big features it's missing is tracking. So you cannot select a subject and have the drone track you and follow you. It does have some automated flying modes that you can use around a point of interest or object. However, it also has the most limited amount of those automated flying modes. And especially if you're a beginner, those are really cool ways of getting some awesome shots. Now, if you are looking at picking one of these up, definitely check out the full review. I've got so much information in there, how to use it, image quality tests, everything like that. So that will be the place to go for it. But this is an absolutely awesome drone. I'm so glad it exists, especially if you live in a country like Canada where you're going to be reserved to that 250 gram limit. But for me, it just lacks the image quality, tracking, obstacle avoidance, a lot of things that I like to see in drones. Now, before we get to the new Air 2S, if you guys need a new website or maybe have a website that just needs a refresh, go ahead and check out squarespace.com. So obviously Squarespace makes it crazy easy to build a new site with templates, customizable blocks for adding in new content, and even the ability to search through thousands of images to help you get started. And there are just some insane tools for photographers and videographers, from custom galleries that allow you to password protect them for sharing privately with clients, and the ability to add in e-commerce to be able to sell your products online as well. I was able to upload my camera guides so I could sell them straight through my site in just a matter of minutes. There's also a full scheduling system, so you can actually have your clients sign up directly for their sessions online. So go ahead and check them out, guys. It's completely free to get started. Just use my coupon code LearningCameras when you build something awesome, and you can go live with that site today. All right, next up is the Air 2S, which is now just my favorite drone to use out of all of these. It is absolutely amazing. Definitely check out the review if you haven't seen that yet. But I'm going to kind of link the Air 2S and the Air 2 into this kind of together, because they are almost the same drone with the exception of the camera. And basically, if you're a photographer or videographer, definitely upgrade to the Air 2S. If image quality is not that important to you, the Air 2 is going to be an awesome drone, and you'll save a couple $100. It's still for sale right now. We'll see how long they kind of keep this in the market right here. Now, this is a huge camera upgrade when it comes to the Mini up to the Air series, and especially the Air 2S. You're getting a much larger sensor with this, a 1-inch sensor. You're getting 20 megapixels, 5.4K video, 4K 60. There is a huge upgrade for this. Plus, you're getting a lot of professional and video features like 10-bit log recording and a lot of other settings that you just don't have access to on the Mini series. So from a camera perspective, this is a huge upgrade. Obviously, this is more than 250 grams, so you will need to have a license in some countries. Here in the US, it just means that you have to register the drone. As of now, fingers crossed it stays that way. But with that comes some huge advantages. The biggest one being that this now has any kind of obstacle avoidance. You have sensors on the top, front, back, bottom, nothing on the side. So you can still crash into something if you fly sideways. However, these sensors add a whole lot. They have saved my drone a couple times, so that alone might make this a huge upgrade for you on this. Plus, they have some automated flying modes, which even if you're a beginner, try not to let the specs of the camera and specs of these drones get too much in the way. Having these automated flying modes is really fun to be able to just do all kinds of stuff on these drones. Plus, the biggest thing for me is to have tracking ability. So you can just select a subject. This drone will track you, follow you anywhere you go. As a solo shooter, that's absolutely awesome for me and something I use all the time. All right, now the FPV. This is a drone that I have started loving so much. If you want to enjoy flying, you just want to have fun, you want to go down mountainsides, you want to do tricks, do flips, do 80 miles an hour, this is going to be the drone that can do it. Now, thankfully, DJI did put a whole lot of more beginner type flying modes, so you can fly this basically the same way as you fly other drones. However, the FPV is made to be flown full manual. This is going to require some practice. You are going to spend days, if not weeks, inside of a simulator learning to fly this thing the proper way. You're going to want to spend weeks, months, years practicing this to just get better at flying it in that FPV mode, to be able to do tricks and all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you want to fly fun, just know that you are going to need some practice with this. Again, you can still fly in those easier modes, but really to get everything out of this drone, you're going to want to learn how to do that. Now, obviously it has a camera as well, but you're probably not going to want to use it the same way you would the other drone. So think of it this way, quality wise, you're going to be in between the Mini 2 and the Air 2S. So it is going to have a 4K sensor on it. It's going to give you 4K 4K 60, which is really nice for shooting some slow motion stuff. However, it just doesn't have the most amazing image quality. I've seen some amazing stuff from it. I've gotten stuff that I'm perfectly happy with. You do have log recording and things like that, but compared to the 2S, the 2S is going to be a big upgrade for actual video shooting. It also doesn't have a lot of features of the Air 2S, so you're not gonna find a whole bunch of automatic flying modes, and you're not gonna find tracking functionality built into it the same way. So there are some things that you are gonna let go on it. It does have some basic obstacle avoidance in that there are some sensors on the front. If you're approaching an object at high speed, it will slow you down, but it really can't stop itself completely, and there are no sensors anywhere else on the drone except the front. So it is really easy to crash this drone. Thankfully, it's pretty repairable as well. Battery life on all of these are just about the same, right about that 30 minutes, except for this, which will go down quite a bit, especially if you're traveling at 80 miles an hour. So expect more in like that 15 to 20 minute flying range. So obviously the other big highlight is you get full-blown FPV goggles, which again is just one of the coolest experiences when you first start flying this. Makes it super easy to get some really unique shots with it. But after about 10 minutes, it doesn't feel all that comfortable anymore. After 15 to 20 minutes, I had full-blown motion sickness, although I do hear that gets better. So again, get this if you're looking for something crazy fun and to do tricks and do all kinds of fast shooting on here. But if you're looking for the best in quality or features, then the Air 2S is really where it's gonna be at. All right, now, the Mavic 2 Pro. This is a drone I've wanted to see an upgrade for a long time, but up until now, it was still my favorite for photographers, especially a little bit for videographers. But now that the Air 2S is out, that's kind of changed a lot. There are not a whole lot of reasons to get this drone, especially because right now, I think it's $600 more expensive. For that, the main feature that you're going to get is an adjustable aperture. So while these drones are fixed at f2.8, kind of like a cell phone is, this has an adjustable aperture you control like every camera out there that you would use to shoot things. So probably the biggest advantage to having that is if you're a video shooter, you can change your exposure in the sky without having to alter your ISO, because these get very noisy if you go above 100 ISO, and without having to change your shutter speed at all. So if you want to keep your shutter speed fixed, you obviously can use ND filters, but you can't change the ND filter strength while it's in the air. You have to land, change the ND filter, so not convenient. This will allow you to change the aperture in the air, especially for video shooters. That can be huge, but it might not be worth 600 bucks. Now it does have a bit more customization. It actually uses a completely different app to these, and because of that, you can customize things like your joystick sensitivity. If you want to get more cinematic flying, it's a little bit easier to do on this drone than these. However, it also comes with some negatives because it's been so long since this has been upgraded. The tracking features are actually better on the Air 2S, and the Air 2S actually is 4K 60, and this drone is going to be limited to 4K 30 frames per second. You also have a 5K recording video option on there, and only 4K on this drone. Both are going to have a 20 megapixel for shooting photos, but from the video perspective, this is going to be better. Now there is another thing that most people do not tell you about this drone in video recording quality, and that is you really need to be using a crop mode to get this thing to look good. So what happens is that you have too many pixels for the video to resolve, and this camera doesn't seem to do any kind of oversampling. It seems to do some kind of pixel binning or dropping, line skipping, something like that. So the video quality using the full frame, the wider angle, does not look very good. DJI knew this, so they put in a crop mode, and in that, it gets a full sensor readout. And so the video quality on that is noticeably sharper when using that mode. So something very interesting there. But honestly, in the Air 2S, you're gonna get better video recording, you're gonna get 4K 60, you're gonna get better tracking ability. There are a whole lot of advantages to this. Plus, I honestly think, I've got a comparison with some drones up here. There are some other options from Autel right here that have a better video quality and just some updated sensors, some updated specs on this one. So for me, the Mavic 2 Pro is going to be a hard pass. Now I won't go too deep into the Inspire 2, but I just want to say this drone, when it first came out, offered video specs that pretty much every camera in the world could not match. It was absolutely insane. Now it's been a few years now. There are a lot of cameras that can shoot better, but from a drone perspective, this thing is amazing. You have basically a separate camera module with a micro Four Thirds sensor in it, much larger sensor. interchangeable lenses on these, so you can get different focal lengths. It just offers things that no other camera can get on a drone. You have RAW recording on this. You can record into SSDs on it. If you need the ultimate quality, this is going to be it. It is absolutely insane what it can do. It's still the best in the market. Honestly, though, I don't use it very much, even though I have it sitting here, because you can get amazing quality from a lot of these other things, and I get scared every time I fly $15,000 worth of camera equipment in the air. That still freaks me out. Flying one of these is a whole lot safer, and I worry a whole lot less. But that's the drone right here. Let me know if you guys have picked up any of these drones or are thinking about upgrade. Definitely let me know in the comments. Hope you guys are doing amazing well. Again, I'm super stoked about some stuff coming up. Stay tuned. I hope you guys are doing amazing, and I'll see you soon in a new video.